Welcome to my views and news. Viewers, after a few hours, some key decisions are going to be made in Ethiopia. The decisions which are going to have far-reaching implications for harmony, for peace in Ethiopia. Tigray archbishops are going to hold meetings, election to appoint new bishops. I think 10 new bishops are going to be appointed. What is the significance of this appointment? I have obtained a secret church document which I got hold of a few days ago. I'll share one part of this document in this video with you. What is church's perception about government? Church believes, the Orthodox Church of Ethiopia believes there are 5 forces in Ethiopia which are trying to weaken the church, which are trying to make the church split and weak. Which 5 forces? And what could happen after Tigray's appointment of bishops? Because if you remember, we saw similar appointment of bishops in Oromia a few months ago. What happened after that appointment? That appointment led to a national crisis. You saw that the main church called for nationwide protests. We saw big protests in Addis Ababa, in Amhara region, in some parts of other regions too. Tens of thousands attended the protests, and back then, if you remember, Orthodox Church accused government that government was behind the breakaway faction. You saw that that appointment led to start of a national emergency, you can say. And then Ethiopian government had to intervene. It had to mediate between the main church and Oromia's archbishops. Then we saw that church postponed its nationwide protest call. So that is why Sunday is crucial, viewers. What is going to happen, we'll try to analyze in this video. Tigray archbishops so far are adamant that they'll appoint new bishops in coming hours on Sunday. They held a press briefing today interestingly, they said that they had not been intimated about the Patriarch's Abune Matthias's recent visit to Tigray. A few days ago, Patriarch, accompanied by a delegation of notable Ethiopians, visited Tigray, but he was not received by Tigray archbishops. He was received by Tigray interim government officials. Patriarch gave 20 million Ethiopian birrs in aid to Tigray interim government, but Tigray archbishops were missing. They were not seen with the Patriarch. They did not welcome, they did not meet with the Patriarch. And Patriarch and his accompanying archbishop, they tried to enter a church in Mekelle for prayer. They were not allowed to enter. Tigray archbishop took a new position. They said that they were not communicated. They were not intimated about the Patriarch's visit. Question is, let's suppose that they had not been intimated about Patriarch's visit. Why were doors of a church closed on the Patriarch in Mekelle? It means whatever happened, it was systematic, it was planned. Tigray archbishops, they could have received Patriarch even without intimation. Let's suppose that they had not been intimated about the Patriarch's visit. But if they knew that Patriarch had arrived in Mekelle, they could have visited, they could have met with the Patriarch. They did not. It means it was part of the plan. They decided to boycott the visit. Now they are trying to justify their position. They said that They respect the Patriarch, the Holy Father, Abune Matthias. That Abune Matthias spoke for Tigraeans, he raised his voice for Tigraeans. That is why the priests, the fathers, the archbishops love him, respect him. So they try to justify their boycott of Abune Matthias' meeting today, but their justification is not convincing. Meanwhile, preparations ongoing in Aksum these minutes, guests arriving, and preparations are there for Sunday's election of new priests. And tensions escalating, especially after Serek Birhan, the priest who wanted to attend this Aksum meeting, was not allowed to fly from Addis Ababa to Mekelle. He flew from Australia. He landed in Addis Ababa at Bole Airport on Wednesday. In the past, he has been very critical of Ethiopian federal government and the church too. And church said that he was dismissed from his position years ago because of his lack of discipline. He wanted to fly to Mekelle from Addis Ababa. He was not allowed to fly to Mekelle. He was deported from Addis Ababa to Mekelle and then to Australia. So it led to more escalation of tensions. Tigray adamant. Church is calling for support from Tigray interim government and the Tigray interim government head Getachew Reda, PM Abiy, regional and federal officials. One important point which I want to make here. The secret document which I got hold of clearly states that church believes 5 entities are trying to weaken the church. First entity, government. Government officials at all levels, regional, federal, local levels, they are systematically trying to divide and weaken the church. I cannot show you the document here because the source which gave the document to me, he received this commitment from me that I won't show the document. I got its translation through another source and I then verified the document. It's totally genuine. It's not fake. First entity the church believes is government. Government officials are weakening the church. They are afraid of church authority. Second, Waqifis, another religion, followers of Waqifai, they are trying to weaken the church. Thirdly, new religions operating under the name of Protestant denominations. They are targeting the church. Fourthly, NGOs. Fifthly, human rights groups. I'm broadly trying to summarize what church believes. These 5 entities are trying to weaken the church, adopting different means. And church has a plan how to counter the 5 entities, which I'll speak on in some future videos. I'll do a separate video on this document too. The church believes the 5 entities are trying to weaken the church, and they are trying to show as if politics and religion are mixed, as if politics and ethnicity are mixed, as if church is being represented by specific ethnic groups. This is what church believes. Internal document with seal of the Patriarch. This document has. Now, question viewers is the Orthodox Church of Ethiopia 2 days ago declared Sunday's meeting of Tigray archbishops illegal. It said that the meeting to appoint new bishops in Aksum is illegal. It's a violation of Article 37 and 38, I think, of the Church Constitution. and the church asked government to support, to stop the meeting. So on the one hand, church says that politics and religion should be separate. There must be no politics in religion. Government is doing its job. Church is independent, separate. It's not under the control of the government. It shouldn't be under the control of government. On the other hand, church wants government to intervene. I mean, why should Getachew, why should Ethiopian PM Abiy, why should regional and federal government officials intervene to stop Tigray Archbishop's meeting at Aksum? Why should they? Because the church believes that religion and politics should be separate. Now, church is involving the government in its favor. It is trying to involve the government in its favor. Isn't it a violation of Ethiopian Orthodox Church constitution? It is trying to politicize the church. It should hold dialogue with the Tigray archbishops. If Tigray archbishops refuse to talk to the church, church cannot seek the support of the government. Church cannot seek the support of law enforcement agencies. It means that church believes government should support it. So when church is in need of the government, it wants government to support, and otherwise it wants government to stay away from church matters. Sereke Berhan was deported from Addis Ababa. Who is behind the deportation? Of course, the government and the church. Both are there. So here we are seeing that hypocrisy of the Orthodox Church is on display. It wants to keep its institution intact, united, by involving forces, governments, regional, federal. Secondly, will Tigray archbishops complete the process of appointments tomorrow, Sunday, after a few hours, or will they start the process? That is the important question. Is the meeting just a way of increasing pressure upon the main church to get more from the main church? Or has the Tigray clergy, the Tigray Orthodox Church decided that it should split? And after these appointments, we could see more progress towards a complete divorce, formation of a synod, election of patriarch. That we'll see after a few hours. It's too early to say. Maybe they want to increase the pressure. They might start the process of appointments and they might not complete it. That we'll see tomorrow. But if Tigray archbishops elect new bishops tomorrow, will the main church led by the patriarch show similar response like it showed when three archbishops, Abune Serios, Evastatius and Xenomorphos, appointed 26 bishops, and after that church accused the government? Church said federal government, Roman government were behind that appointment. They wanted to weaken, divide the church, and they called for nationwide protests. So what will the main church do after the meeting in Aksum? That we'll see. That's why I'm saying Sunday is crucial. It's not an ordinary meeting of a few religious leaders in Ethiopia. This meeting and decisions made at the meeting will have national level impact. So far, government is silent. I have not seen any action from the government to stop Sunday's meeting. It means that the church's call to Getachew, to Abiy to intervene went unanswered, though there could be other ways of intervention too. I mean, maybe meeting will be held, maybe process will start and no decision will be made. It could happen. So There could be several modes of intervention from the government into the affairs of Tigray Orthodoxy. Lastly, can we say that Tigray archbishops are independent, but they are doing, it is not being influenced by what Tigray interim government wants or by what federal government wants? I don't believe that Tigray archbishops are independent, no. People of Tigray are not independent these days. A region where 90% of people are dependent upon food aid, and that food aid is being delivered through the government, interim government. Can these people exercise their rights independently, freely? No. Tigray archbishops are not independent. They are under the thumb of Tigray interim government. If Tigray interim government means Ethiopian federal government too, by the way, they are very close together. If both want a split to continue, the split will continue. Tigray archbishops will meet in Aksum, they will make some decisions, they will start the process of appointments, maybe they will not complete it on Sunday. So let's see what happens. So far, we're going to see some key developments within the next 48 hours in Ethiopia, I believe. Thank you for watching.